Hi, everybody. Another session of course, we'll try and make it a very deep and meaningful conversation. And probably by the end of this session, you and I will learn a few things from our guest of the day, who is a very interesting person. She's lived a very interesting life and has chosen a path that very few choose for them. Um all the way from Lithuania, Arija Rasutis. I hope I'm pronouncing the name right. Arya, welcome to the show.
That was perfect. Beautiful, Tarun. Thank you.
We'll talk about the sessions you're doing on the Spiritual DAO channel. I want to tell you that I have uh, seen one of those sessions and I felt very uh, blessed and calm. And, my life, it for that amount of time, I felt that I'm getting away from everything that's taking a lot of my mind space. So I'm sure a lot of people who are going to watch these videos are going to benefit a lot. And we want to ask you questions about that as well. But let's first talk about you, your early life. Um, where do you come from? And how was your life before breath work, meditation, yoga came into it?
Mm, okay. Yeah. First of all, thank you for having me. I'm very grateful to be here. Okay. So I was born in the United States, actually. I was born in Chicago, and I left Chicago with my family when I was 7, and we moved to Lithuania. So I was raised in Lithuania. Um, and I lived there for most of my life, and then I started traveling and teaching English in my 20s. So I lived abroad. But yeah, basically, in these years in my 20s, I struggled a lot with depression, with addiction. And yeah, there was a lot of turmoil in my family as well. My parents got divorced when I was 18. So there was just yeah, a lot of yelling in the house growing up, like a lot of, yeah, some aggression and also love. But yeah, um there was definitely a lot of turmoil. So I feel like this was also partially why I turned to alcohol at a very young age. So I struggled with that and some other things throughout my greater 20s. And eventually it just got to a point where I knew I needed something. Something to change, because it was not a sustainable way to live. Like, I was functioning, I was able to be in the world. I feel like this is like a common kind of state that I see a lot of people in. It's like you're functioning, but you're living in this like gray zone. You're not like actively happy or feeling like the creator of your life. It's just kind of like, okay, got through this day. Well, there's another one tomorrow, this feeling. So I knew there had to be some sort of a change. And a friend of mine had done a yoga teacher training in India, and she recommended this one specific teacher training. And yeah, and I somehow just decided, like, I need to buy this flight. I felt this, that little voice, do it. So I bought my flight to India with just the goal of, I'm going to do my TTC, and then I don't know, maybe I'll stay 1, 2, 3 months. I was also seeing someone at the time. So, it was like, I don't want to do long distance for too long. So plan was about 3 months, which turned into 3 years.
Wow.
So yeah, I was living, learning, and working in India for about 3 years. Yeah.
Wow. Describe to me the first yoga session or class that you took. Was it like the way you had pictured in your mind before coming to India?
Wow, now it feels like such a long time ago. I'm trying to remember. Um, it wasn't really what I expected. No, like, I had done a little bit of yoga here and there before. Like, I lived in Vietnam before I came to India. I was teaching English in Vietnam. So when I was in Vietnam, I had started I started a little meditation and yoga practice, but like very very small, just like getting a taste of it, So yeah, this teacher training was much more full power. It was intense, it's like, yeah, a yoga class in the morning, yoga class in the evening, and then a bunch of stuff in the middle. My mind, I just remember, was blown. Like from the first day, I was just like, whoa, I'm home. Like it was, that experience was one of my most transformative ones. Just even arriving to Rishikesh alone, I remember arriving and just walking down the bridge, I think it was Ramjula, and just like my heart was just like exploding, and I was just like, wow, I am home.
Such a magical place, Rishikesh, and of course, the higher up you go in those Himalayan mountains, the better it gets. So, when did you decide? What did you learn in these 3 years? And when did you then decide that, okay, this is going to be the course of my life from now?
Mm. So when did I learn?
What did you learn? And when did you decide that, all right, this is what I'm going to do?
I mean, I honestly think from day one, like really, when I arrived in Rishikesh, it felt so right. Like something just clicked. And when I was doing the yoga teacher training, I wasn't even doing it with the goal of being a yoga teacher. But I knew at this point that I wanted to be in this world of healing and be of service to people, to help guide them towards healing. And because it was something that I wanted so deeply within myself. So I felt that that was the greatest gift that I could share with anyone. So I really wanted to learn more about all of these healing arts and dive deeper. So yeah, I went to a Vipassana, which was also just like completely life changing, because I had never done anything that intense before. And then I went to Goa, and that's where I met my teacher, actually, Mike. I don't want to mispronounce his last name. He's Irish, Mike O'Meara. He's the founder of Celtic Breathwork. So he's my teacher, and I met him in Goa about 2 years back. And from the first breathwork session that I had, I knew that that path specifically was something extra important in my life. Like I loved doing yoga and everything, but with breathwork, it was something different. Like I knew this was something. But I knew I had to just dive deeper and explore it, which I did, and then eventually I started teaching.
Yeah, breath, or as the Indian yogic practices, they call it prana. That's what drives everything within us. For those who are uninitiated, how would you like to describe what breath work is, and what should they expect of the practice?
So yeah, as you said, breath work, it comes from pranayama. So it's actually an ancient Indian practice. So it's something that I think most Indian people are quite familiar with. If they don't practice it, they still are familiar with it. So basically, breathwork and pranayama are interchangeable. But I guess this breathwork that I practice more and I teach and that I learned is a bit more, has the more Western spin on it, which is the core is the same. You're connecting with your prana, with your life force, the bridge to your consciousness. It's all the same in that sense. So basically, you're just learning to be more aware of your breath, your breathing patterns, and learning to use them with more intention. I don't like to use the word control. I'd like to say, like, yeah, more to breathe intentionally. So that's basically what breathwork is. And once you learn to do that and you retrain your breathing patterns to a more sustainable functioning, that affects everything. Like every breathing pattern is associated with a mental, emotional, physiological, psychological state. So when one changes, the other changes.
Right. Say if I take a session with you, or I have you as my coach attend your sessions of breath work, what should I expect? How will it change my life as a city dweller, as somebody who's spending at least 8 to 9 hours in a corporate environment every day and practically doesn't do much of physical workout as well. What benefits can come for someone like me from breathwork?
Oh, wow. Yeah, so many benefits. I mean, each person's experience with breathwork, relationship with breathwork is different, but I can pretty confidently say that breathwork can really alleviate a lot of anxiety. So bring some calmness into your nervous system. Because really again, depending on what kind of breath you're using, because if you're using long, deep, slow breaths, circular breaths, you're really sending signals to your parasympathetic nervous system, which is relaxing. So you're activating this parasympathetic. So especially people who have full-time, corporate jobs and living this hustle kind of city life, there's a lot of stimulation coming at you and a lot of, I guess, responsibilities, maybe less free time, stress. So breath work can really just slow it down for you, allow you to connect deeper with yourself, with your body, with your heart, with your soul, and and just calm the nervous system. Essentially, it's nervous system regulation. Yeah.
And if somebody's learned this through any of your courses or from anywhere else for that matter, I believe and I think it can be practiced anywhere because it's just you and your breath, right?
Yeah, that is the beauty of breath work. Honestly, it's like as a facilitator, I facilitate, I hold this space, and that's it. You are doing all the work. It's like you you can do it by yourself whenever, wherever. I mean, maybe not like while driving and stuff. Maybe then you should maybe not do breath work. But if you have a safe, quiet space, just using your own body, you can heal yourself. You can work on yourself. So yeah, that's the coolest thing. It can even be free. It's a tool that you can just carry with you at all times.
Yeah, it's just with you. If only you've taken one of these courses, if you have this information in you, you're armed with a tool that really can help you anywhere you are at, and can really help calming you down in different situations. I'm guessing if suppose I've had a meeting with my superior who's not a very, agreeable man, I think it can really help in getting back my focus to what I want to do on that day. Uh, my next question for you, Arya, is all these videos that you're doing for Spiritual DAO YouTube channel. What is the right way to approach it? And is there anything that you want people to know before they hit play on those videos?
Sure. I mean, I guess to drop all expectations if possible, first of all, to try and not expect much. But I guess from a practical sense, just to find the quiet space, and to allow yourself this time, gift yourself this time to be present and slow down. Maybe that having this intention, and yeah, just explore and see how it feels, because also there is no one size fits all when it comes to the breath. Everybody's different and everybody needs something different, because certain exercises can relax you and others will activate you a bit more. And you can see on the videos there's different purposes. So there's breath work for relaxation, there's breath work for morning activation and for focus. So it's like, yeah, there's different types of breathing for different things. So also see, like, how are you feeling? Are you just waking up in the morning and instead of hitting that cup of coffee right away, you want to naturally wake yourself up? Go to the morning activation. And if you're coming home from work and feeling a bit stressed and angry at your boss man, then you can try the more relaxed one and just let yourself relax.
Are there any don'ts that you would like to suggest? Things that one should not do before or after the session, or try and avoid? Or are there any myths about breath work or yoga for that matter that you want to point out?
Good question. Anything not to do? I mean, generally, I try and do breath work, like not to mix certain substances with it, like alcohol, really mainly. And I guess, like, for example, if you're already feeling quite anxious and agitated, like if you sense your heart is beating really fast and these kinds of things, then maybe don't do like a really activating breath work. That could stress your body and put it into more of the sympathetic mode. So in that kind of situation, you want to activate that parasympathetic that I spoke about. So you want to slow it down. So you want to take slow breaths. So just really trying to look inside, like what are you already feeling? Because you don't, if it's something that's too much, you don't want to breathe like really intensely to activate that even more, because that can just, that's not helpful in the end, really. You want to bring balance into your body and not like activate it, excite it too much beyond control.
Makes a lot of sense. And for anyone who's been watching this video up till this point, I just want to say that you're now being primed to begin your journey of learning breath work with Arija. There are a lot of videos that we've started posting already. We'll keep posting them. Just go check it out. Find her on social media. Air with Ari is what you look for on Instagram, and you'll find a lot of videos, plus a lot of music as well. So that's great too. Any final words before I let you go, Arya? Anything that you want to say to anyone who's getting into this journey of learning breath work through your videos, through your sessions, anything at all?
Sure. Yeah, just I guess I think some people get a little bit overwhelmed, like they're not really sure if they're doing it right, or I don't know, or maybe they don't even know what's the point. Like, okay, I'm breathing, I breathe all the time, you know. Like, I guess I encourage people to maybe keep an open mind and explore it, experience it for themselves, because there's nothing anybody can tell you to do that is right. You need to just try it yourself and see how you feel.
And like all good things, give it some time, it will grow on you, and you will realize that there's change happening from within you because it's coming from inside of you. That's how breathwork works. Arija Rasutis, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to bring her back on this platform and for these sessions. And next time we're going to dig deeper into all all these concepts, and we're going to learn more in depth things. And until then, Arija, thank you so much for joining us and answering all my questions.
Thank you, Tarun.